Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to what I call Bertie Roux Live. And today we're having a very interesting conversation because Bertie is doing the speaking circuit this week. So we're going to talk about that for a moment and what is he going to do and where is that and so on. And then we're going to talk about why you should also develop a vision for speaking if you want to achieve certain results. So Bertie, welcome to Bertie Roux Live this week.
Good day to everyone, and thank you very much. I'm looking forward to our chat today. Everything is going well and according to plan, but as always, every speaking stint has got its own challenge.
Awesome. But before we start talking about that, it's funny that you and I both are on similar paths in terms of there's certain things that we want to achieve. There's things that we relate to other people on, okay, this is what you need to do. But it's funny how while we are coaching other people on certain things, we are implementing those things and becoming greater versions of that ourselves.
That's coaching per se, as you quite rightly say, is a learning experience, because every time that you are coaching somebody else, even though there's a system at the back of it, a process that you follow, what happens during the coaching session is different every single time, even with the same coachee. And one learn about yourself so much when you talk other people through their life challenges. You're quite right. So it's life is a lifelong learning opportunity, and we must grab it.
I just want to say hello to our viewers. Thank you for watching us and for following us today. If you have any questions, please post them below. We'd love to answer your questions. And yes, Bertie, so I believe that you are on the speaking circuit this week. Do you want to tell us where that is, when, and what are you talking about?
Cobus Visser, a friend of mine, which is much better known as Superman, the Firewalker. But that's one of his claim to fame, is getting his supporters to walk on the hot coals, even though he can't do it now. But there's a Kickoff 21 event that is started today at 10 o'clock this morning. So it's 29 speakers over the next 6 days, today included, for which I'm one. And on Friday, 3 o'clock, I'm talking about my well-known subject, vision with imagination. And obviously, every time I do approach vision with imagination, it's another angle that I bring to the fore and discuss. I'm really passionate about vision because I believe that is where the answers lie to success and where failure comes from, because I don't have a clear vision for myself.
What time on Friday are you speaking, Bertie, and how do people get to register?
I'm speaking at 3 o'clock. That is 3 o'clock South African Standard Time. If you are watching from anywhere else, you please do take cognizance of its South African Standard Time, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, PM in other words. The easiest way that I can say to register at this stage is to go into Facebook or to Google Kickoff 2021, Cobus Visser, and then follow the links and register. It is free, and register for the whole complete event, and then just watch what you like, what your preferences are. But it's all very powerful speakers, very informative and interesting subjects that you're going to cover. Learning experiences once again for everyone out there. And say again, it's free of charge. So all you need to bring is your time and your presence.
But you mentioned that you're talking about a very passionate topic of yours that we've unpacked quite a bit in the last couple of weeks, and that is vision with imagination. Just give us a quick overview. Why is this topic so important for you?
Throughout my life, one of the things that I've experienced and that taught me a lot of personal lessons. Is that if you are not focused on a goal, a dream, and for that matter, a vision, you will be dabbling around like a chicken with a cut off head, not knowing where you want to go. It takes so much longer to reach a result if you don't know where you're going because you don't know how to get there. So you follow all different roles and there's distractions aplenty because there's opportunities that come to your way and you think it's opportunity. You follow them only to find out that it's not getting me closer to my goal. And if I think of my own personal life, not having those clarity of vision, I had goals, interim little goals that I lived and have been extremely successful as far as that's concerned. But they were just interim little steps, which not necessarily get me closer to my goal. And my goal and my passion lies exactly what I'm doing at the moment is sharing, training, and developing um, um, other people and guiding them into understanding that life is more than living day by day.
Bertie, so on Friday when you're speaking, can you give us a quick overview? What can people expect when they attend and listen, especially to your specific keynote?
You know, the point I want to drive at on Friday is to make it clear that defining a vision, which is an impossible vision with imagination, is not so impossible and it's not so impossible to achieve. That is number one. And then the question why we should have these things, because the moment we've got that, we've got control over our lives. I would I would cover quite a few examples, everyday examples of everyday people, common people that have set themselves goals and achieved great success by just setting themselves the goal and following that path. But then there's also situations that we all know, and many of us have been aware of and have been otherwise impacted by, where people had absolutely no purpose in life, and through that has taken their own lives. And that, unfortunately, is often the way out for some people that feel that they have got no reason to be on this earth. So, by having a purpose and having that clear vision, you would be able to say, that is why I'm here. Because that's a difficult question. It's always a difficult question. Why am I placed on earth? What am I doing here? Whether I wait till I die in 20 or 30 or 40 years, or whether I take my own life now, how simple as it might sound, that is the thinking process that some people go through. They don't understand. They simply don't understand why they're here and why do they have to go through all this suffering. So that is very much part of what I want to discuss. So people can understand the simplicity of having goals and being focused will take care of all the challenges in your life, every single one of them, and bring the control in your life that you need. And the success will be will be a natural outcome from that.
Okay, Bertie. Obviously, you're very passionate about speaking, and for those that want to learn from you and model what you do, can you share with us why speaking is important and why seeking out as many opportunities as possible is important for a career, especially with the type of people that you are dealing with?
That's a mouthful and quite a loaded question, I must say. Uh, you know, if I think back of my life, I could never and hardly ever take to a stage and talk to anybody until I've learned that speaking about what you're passionate about comes naturally and makes speaking so easy. So uh, if I was giving a subject to talk about, already at the moment it's given to me, I'm stressed out because I'm saying I might not be passionate about it. If you ask me about global warming, I know very little about it. So for me to go on a stage and talk about global warming will be difficult because I would not know what to say, not just content, but value add. Because at the end of the day, when you speak, as we are speaking now, those people that's giving me their time, I'm honored by them giving me their time. They must be able to walk away from even this chat today and my chat on Friday with a value add to their life. And that is most important. When we speak, it must be a value add to somebody else, because if not, you're not appreciative of other people's precious time. So that's the first point of departure. So you must have a message. You must have a clear message that you want to bring across, and it's so much better if you can bring that message with passion, because you believe in it. So bring the emotion to the table. Be emotive in your talk. Then you don't have to follow processes and procedures and pre-learned ways of delivering a talk. Just be natural. If you are natural, the messages are even more powerful. And and because you're engaging, the way we're doing it now, it's extremely difficult because I've lost the ability to be emotionally connected to my audience because I can't read my audience. I can't see their faces. I can't see their eyes. I can't see their body language. It's extremely difficult. For any person today that does talk virtually, it's extremely difficult because you're actually talking to yourself on the screen because you see yourself all the time. And I'm not necessarily in the habit of spending so much time with myself. Um, we should be, but I'm not in that habit. Let's call it yet. If that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. So can we go a little bit further with that? Why would you encourage your audience to develop a vision to speak? Would it be because you're going to give them more visibility? Obviously, you said there's a lot of personal development that happens. What is the journey of public speaking and doing things like this? What has it done for you?
First of all, as you say, I must have a reason why I'm doing this. Why I'm ever giving myself the exposure so that I can enter your room, your office, that you can learn and understand who's Bertie Leroux and get to know a bit more about Leroux. This is part that I'm giving to you because I'm not just talking from my home office here in Centurion in South Africa. I'm actually now global, and I'm talking to people all over the show. So I'm sharing this person. Now, the question is, what is the benefits and what is the end state? My end goal, as I've shared with you, is to be an international public speaker. I had the opportunity to be on stage just before lockdown, fortunately, in India last year in Mumbai. So I've achieved one of my goals, but I want to expand on it. And maybe you want to do the same. You want to inspire people because you've got a story. You've got a story to tell. And most speakers that take to the stage has a story to tell. I've also got some stories, and I'll share that on Friday. But it's not the place, I think, to share it here. But you've got a story to tell. Your story is a learning experience for somebody else. You might think it's a simple story and it's insignificant, but you've learned lessons. Other people may be in a situation where they they shouldn't learn that lesson, and they don't have to learn a lesson if you can share it with them. So remember that you've got a story to tell. So you go out there and share it with people. You've got an expertise to share, whether it's cooking or it's woodworking or it's maths or just a skill on Excel that you want to share. Speaking and being clear about it and bringing the message across very clear is it's quite important. And once again, I say, you will get the self-confidence through your passion. and for knowing your subject. So that's a part of that. But why am I doing it? Why am I exposing myself? The nice thing about it, and that's one of the reasons why I went to India last year, I was acknowledged as an international acclaimed coach, and went there to receive a citation. As I did a couple of weeks ago, I received another recognition for being a very influential coaching leader in Africa. I would not have received those recognitions if I wasn't present on social media, because how else would they learn about me? Because somebody must have nominated me. So the presence here is part of that. And as you speak, I know some of you know I'm also on a Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock South African time on a radio station called Platinum Gold, and internet radio station, and I've now clocked more than 100 appearances there every Tuesday. And when I started out, I could hardly sort of express myself. So the more and more you experience this platform, like being on radio and now being visibly and not just auditory, I'm here in person, you get more comfortable. So you end up speaking to you and you and you as if you are sitting right across me and having coffee. And that's what the benefit of this as a platform is. And the more you do that, the more comfortable you get, the more your message become of greater value. So it is just a fantastic opportunity. But then you may not just want to become a speaker for the purpose of being a public speaker. Speaking, expressing yourself, driving your message home is part of every single leader, every manager, every marketing specialist need to acquire the skills to express themselves and be comfortable. So it's just not using the social media for this purpose that I've just shared with you, but it's also in life. Everywhere you go, the way you express yourself is important. Unfortunately, during this presentation, I'm talking to you. You're not able to talk back to me other than through Q&A. Place your questions out there. But if you speak to somebody in a public place or just one-on-one or in small groups, like a mastermind groups, key to the value of public speaking then is listening. To hear what people are saying. And that's why I'm saying, if you don't have the person in front of you, you can't read the body language, you don't know how people are reacting. When are they getting excited about what you're saying? And they can expand and elaborate on that specific point that you were driving home. Or when you see the people are sort of falling asleep and you're boring them, then you have to change your approach. It's probably much more difficult this way.
Bertie, we were talking a little bit about the differences between live videos and a live audience and then speaking to an online audience like this. So you mentioned a little bit about the differences in that. What are also the opportunities, do you think, in engaging in this way, like online and consuming content this way, for both the listener but also for the presenter?
For both parties nowadays, through this virtual means, there is extreme big opportunities and learning experiences. If I just I've spoken to a friend of mine, and he delivered a talk about Raymond Aron. He's published over 100 books. So he's a very well-known international speaker, traveled all over the globe, delivering talks very often, also across the globe. So as he says, he spent so much time traveling and so much time in hotels. But now he can sit in his own office and he can do exactly what he did there, reach more people, much more people, through this medium. So that this has definitely got the benefit. I can reach more people more often than I would in person. But then it's always great to talk to people in an audience. We all know it's nice to make that contact because there's an energy that's an energy that comes from there that energizes also the speaker, and that's what we most of us miss is that energy that flows from the floor, from the audience, that they bring to you as the speaker. Much more dynamic, and you become much more creative with the people out there. Yeah, I don't have the opportunity to run around and and talk to you. A person like me that basically talks very much like with his body and his hands, it becomes difficult. I sometimes have to raise my hands so that I can show you that I do have hands. So that's the major thing. I can reach many more people through this medium, but the speakers still miss the interaction with the audience. They make much more money because of the reaching more people and have less costs. And you have the benefit that through this medium, you will get the opportunity to buy into many more talks at a much lower cost. So that is a benefit also for the listener and for the person that's interested in it.
Thanks, Bertie. Then I'm going to post in the comments below. I'm going to post the link to the event that is actually underway right now. Funny, it's called Kickoff. It's actually busy underway, and I'm going to post it on your profile as well. And then, what are you? We spoke a little bit about the first quarter. How is your talk? What do you expect the outcome of your talk to be for the listeners that's going to engage with you?
You know, there's an outcome that I wish to achieve through my talk, and there's obviously an outcome that they call it the person that's watching wants to achieve out of the talk. An opportunity where people can gain a little bit more exposure to my content, where I address how to create a vision with imagination. So I cover points which overview, which in essence gives you the opportunity and the reflection of the bird in the sky. That's also my logo up to the right of this page. That's why I use the eagle, because at the end of the day, by having a view, a greater view of where you're at, gives you much more exposure to the opportunities that is out there. Because if I stand on the ground, I am limited in my views to the horizon. But if I'm up in the sky, the horizon is not impacting and impeding my view. My view is then as far as my eyes can make out the future. That I start off covering the concept of overview, the bird's eye view that the sensitivers go into, and the benefit of using that to define the possible vision that you want to set yourself. Then I move into three disciplines of thought, which is of covered the overview, insight, and foresight. And that insight is extremely important because it's our limitations of self-belief that's impeding us set visions with imagination, which by definition to yourself is impossible. Okay, that's because we don't know ourselves. What we know about ourselves so very often is what other people has told us about ourselves. But that is what other people want us to believe that we are capable of or not capable of. And unfortunately, part of this is the people that you see and live with every day, your brothers and sisters, your parents. your teachers, and in the work environment, your managers, and the leaders in the organization that you're involved with. Every single one, directly and indirectly, is impacting your ability to know who you are. And if you don't know who you are, how do you know what you can? How do you know what is those God-given gifts that God gave you and entrusted to you? That unique gifts that you were born with, that you had to start your life with and to develop. But no, we fit it into communities' ways of seeing things. So we don't live our own lives. We start living that of the community and everybody around us. So the second most important of aspect of my talk is this whole concept of believing and knowing who you are. I refer to that as a blood transfusion, a rebirth, that you must get rid of the old blood, of the old you, and start living the life that you are capable of from a point where you trust your gifts and live them out. So that's the insight. So that's sometimes a very painful, because it moves to the core. And from a coaching perspective, that's always when a coach coaches people as a transformational coach, that one of the things I start is to try and get to your core. Who am Bertie really? Deep down here, who am I really? Not what I'm projecting, not what I'm saying. Who am I really? Okay? Because if I know that, and I have this perspective that from the bird's eye view in terms of opportunities, then foresight, as the last discipline of thought, will take you into a position where you can start live your vision in the here and now. Because that is also important. Because if we are focused on certain things in our lives, then we end up making that and filling our life with exactly that. And we start living our passions. We are living our future. So that is so crucial. And those is a three elements: overview, insight, and foresight. And I hope and I trust that when a person walk away from my talk, that those three concepts is driven home. Now I will give you a lot of examples, personal stories, to drive the point home. But those are in essence, Ivan, is the three aspects of my talk
Awesome.
on Friday.
I'm actually very excited. I can't wait. So if you want to register, this event is actually underway already. You can go click below in the comments, and you'll see there we've provided you with the link. So you can go and register. And Bertie is speaking, I think, on Friday at 3 o'clock. So we'd love to see you there. Yes, Bertie, so are you excited?
I'm always excited, but also always a bit worried as well. You know, I've done a lot of talks in my life so far, and every time I walk on the stage, I still have the butterflies.
But they say that if you don't have butterflies, then something must be wrong.
So and the moment you start walking, I say again, choose your subject wisely, so that it covers what you are passionate about. And passion is what's drawing people to you in your talk, because they can relate to you, because you're not just delivering a talk and telling people what they should do and how they should do it and what they should be doing. No, you're sharing your why you're talking to them, but why it changed your life. You expressing your personal, you draw them into the chat. That's vitally important when you do a talk. And that's probably where butterflies come from, not from content, it's impact.
Wow. Yeah, we always say, what can you talk about for hours on end without referring to any material? And that's the kind of the golden place where you want to kind of draw from. Thank you so much for spending time with me, Bertie, today. And I'm looking forward to your talk. And we'll have an exciting session next week at 4 o'clock on Tuesday. We will probably recap what happened at the talk and what was your experience like and what were the highlights for you.
Thank you, Ivan. I appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks for the good wishes. And for everyone out there, hope to see you there. And if not, you please stay safe.
Awesome. Thank you everyone for watching. Remember, if you watch this after the live show, you're welcome to post a question below in the comments and we will get back to you and answer you. Thank you so much. And thanks, Bertie. We'll see you guys next week.
Thank you.